Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone. How are you all doing? A big major casting announcement was made today. Someone in the media, though, just to let you know something very interesting, someone in the media decided to break the embargo. So, for anybody that doesn't know, what happens is the media get a lot of this stuff, and when they're given the stuff, they're told they're not allowed to release it to they're not allowed to release it until a certain time. But someone out there in the media jumped the gun and reported this, and then everybody then was scrambling, including the media and the BBC, and then it was announced. I don't know if this was supposed to be the announcement for today or whether it was for later on, or but someone jumped the gun, and very interesting why they would do that. That's another side of it. But we do have a couple of guests joining me, and if anybody wants to join me to give me their opinion on this, you're more than welcome to do so. Now, I will put up the Twitter post before I get anybody on, because we have two people waiting in the studio. So if you do want to come on, just let me know, and I will send you a quick email if you want to give your opinion on this. So what I'll do is I'll put the post up. We'll read it out. It's in the link description as well, because you have to cover your backs these days on YouTube. So the link to the actual announcement is in from the BBC, is in the link description. So we will do it. Hold on, because obviously Doctor Who is trending, because this has caused a bit of a reaction. And yeah, it's been a mixed bag. I have to be honest. It's a mixed bag on the reaction. But there are a couple of questions I will ask people tonight that come on, and you guys in the chat, because I think it is important that we talk about this casting, because a lot of the naysayers out there, RTD at this stage is just handing them ammunition, and I don't. This is either, as I said in my tweet under the actual post, on the Doctor Who official, this is either genius by RTD, or this is RTD clearly pandering, and I don't know, but let me put this post up on the screen. So 4 hours ago, this was dropped. I got a suspicion that maybe this announcement was probably for today, but maybe not at the time that it was supposed to be released. So I'll just throw the image up, read the tweet, and then I'll get you their opinion. So if some of you have actually left an opinion there, just hold back on them for a second, and then, because I want to get as many as in as possible. So I hope you can see that on screen. Let's just make it bigger. As I said, we got a couple of people waiting in the background. We will bring them on in just a second. So, Doctor Who official put up, "Hey Jinx, double heart plus a thundery cloud with rain, oncoming storm, basically." Award-winning actress, singer, and two-time Rude Paul Drag Race winner Jinx Monsoon will will appear in a major role in the new series of Doctor Who. And just so everybody can see a clear picture, I will hopefully this doesn't bug out on us now. So let's see. So there you go. That is Jinx Monsoon, which I'm assuming is a stage name. Um, Now I've actually gone just like I did with Sue Kentner, the one behind Doomsday. I went and I checked their so-called acting credentials. Starting as yourself and doing theatre work as yourself isn't actually acting. To be quite honest, I'm sick and tired of BBC. We had this same conversation when Doomsday came out, right? I even said it on this channel, right? The last time. All you have to be nowadays is to be an activist, the pronouns in your bio or whatever, and you'll get a job with the BBC, right? Now, this person won Rude Paul's Drag Race twice, right? I haven't actually watched the show. It's not something that, in fairness, right, this is my opinion on it. I was actually called narrow minded today, right? I'm sorry, I don't think it's narrow minded to not want drag entertainment in Doctor Who, especially when drag used to be obviously adult entertainment, but now over the years they've tried to normalize it as family entertainment, and it's not family entertainment. So, again, what credentials and qualifies uh, this particular person to get the role? Well, if you go and look at their wiki, not much, not much. And this is the problem I have, right? I don't give a crap if they're drag. Just like they've announced a couple of trans cast members. We haven't gave out about the trans cast members. I wonder why. Well, let's see, because they actually have a decent CV and they've actually proved their acting chops. But again, I'm going to say something controversial here. Well, it won't be controversial to you guys, but it'll be controversial to the other side. But is there going to be any straight people in Doctor Who when RTD does Series 14? And I'm asking a legit question here because we don't know if Millie Gibson is a straight woman, right? Our character, Ruby Sunday. Is there any character going to be straight in this show, or is this the way it's going to be now, that the show is just going to be totally and exclusively for the LGBTQ plus crowd? Like, let us know now so we're not wasting their time. Do you know what I mean? Is this the route you're going down? If it is, let us know so we're not wasting their time, right? Because I'm sorry, this is, again, as well, I'm trying to figure out, like, in a sci-fi show, like, what character is this person playing? Are they playing drag? How's that going to work in Doctor Who? Again, Doctor Who's a family show as well, and I strongly believe myself that drag is adult entertainment and should be normalized for families and the mainstream uh, audience. But over the years, you get Rude Paul's Drag Race and shows like that try normalize this as family entertainment, right? This is the issue I have, right? Nothing else, right? It's not because they're even drag. It's the fact that they're trying to normalize adult entertainment, right? And throw it off as family entertainment. Now, we've all seen the videos on social media, on YouTube channels of these drag events being set up, and we've also seen video of drag queens lap dancing around children. Now, maybe I am old fashioned, but to me, that's not right. That's wrong. You shouldn't be subjecting your child to someone dressed in drag, gyrating all over them. So I honestly don't believe that this casting is right. I think this is going to be a mistake because we've already seen that there is a backlash to the drag bedtime stories and all of this other stuff that's going on in society, right? And now Doctor Who wants to start introducing do you know what? We should have seen this coming because you remember over the last couple of months or a couple of months back, they had drag queen promoting stuff with Doctor Who. We should have seen this coming a mile away. Maybe some people did, but I don't know. This to me doesn't seem like the right decision, and I think this is going to be a major mistake, and I think it's going to backfire big time. I really do. Um, as I said, over the years they've tried to normalize drag entertainment as family entertainment, and it clearly isn't. It isn't. I'm sorry, but it's not. And that's not me being any phobe or anything like that. It's a fact, right? It's a fact. I've been at drag shows, so I know, right? And then, someone brought up pantomime. Pantomime is completely different to what happens at drag shows. Trust me. Shouldn't be normalized. But there you go. That's the society we're living in today. So let me see who's in the chat before we bring on our guests. So we have Brisk in the chat. We've got Peter Harrington in the chat. We got PD Rich, Real Super Doctor, and we've got Queen Charlotte Garbage, Scottish Stavros and Friends Wrestle with Pop Culture. We've got PD Rich. I think I already mentioned you, but there you go. You get a second shout out there. We got Leland in the chat as well. Nice to see you, Leland. Who else have we got? JWC Reviews, problem being, who sent me some messages earlier on to let me know how he thought. If you want to come on, Lee, you are still more than welcome to give your opinion and just tell people why you're done. I know you said you don't think there is any point, but I believe there is. I think people should hear what people have to say on this issue. I don't think we should shy away from it, to be quite honest with you. Rob Fellows is in the chat. We got Bobby D75 in the chat. We got the Nerdaholics also in the chat. Wow. And we got 28 people watching. That hasn't happened in a long, long time. The 99 Doctor is in the chat as well. The Warped Eyebrow is in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice to see so many old faces as well. Chris Persia is in the chat as well, and he has said a couple of you have left actually comments as well. I will go back to them and throw them up on screen and read them out, and then I'll bring our guests on. So guys, if you could just hang on for a couple of more minutes, I know you are waiting patiently backstage. I'll get you on now in a few minutes. Who else? We got Sophie in the chat as well. And Darren Bradley in the chat. So let's see what some of the comments that some of you guys have left, and then let's see. So we've got Brisk, who said R.I.P. Doctor Who. Bobby D says, I'm tempted to say that myself. Brisk then responds and says, well, say it, it's over. We've got PD asking, no, I cancelled New Who Zone. I wrote it up on Twitter. I should have probably came and told you, mate. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling up to it myself, to be quite honest with you. When this news dropped, I knew I wanted to talk about it. And, a couple of people just need a bit of a rest as well. So, it's right that we take it off. Sure, it gives everybody a chance to chill. Real Super Doctor says the show's on the tread since the past 5 years. I think the hope is gone. We got let me see. Garbage has said, "What the hell is RTD doing? Stop with your damn political messages. Just stop. You wanted millions to return. They will now not be returning. Sorry, RTD. Week after week of these damned announcements. I don't think he has done himself any favors. Um, that show is dead, and RTD has lost the plot," says Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture. Well, again, I mean, it just seems to me that everybody seems to be part of some sort of community, and it's not a good look. You're excluding a lot of people, man. PD Rich says, "Look, if they can act, it's fine. But if RTD turns the cast for Series 14 into Stonewall Seminar, diehard fans will walk away in their droves." Yeah, again, I would agree more with you on this one, PD. Um, and I think Starry Eyed Girl said the same thing on Twitter as well, that this could go either way. And I think that is a fair assumption to make. But you see what's going on. There's a kind of a backlash to what's going on in schools and these bedtime story readings and all of this. So I don't know if this is actually a clever move, a stroke of genius by RTD, or if this is just stupidity. Or there's a third option. Remember, he's brought back two male doctors. You've had the other side complain for months and months and months. He could have made these castings to appease certain people in the fandom. Let's see what else we've got. Uh, Garbage says, "Exactly, I heard this person is actually a good actor, but enough is enough. Do straight white males even bother applying for RTD shows anymore?" says Garbage. Look, again, this person is a great actor and they pull it off. Fine. Fine. But, fans are going to have that initial reaction, and that is allowed. Of course, people will start moaning and calling people phobes and this, that, and the other. We're having an opinion. Obviously, as we go down the line, we'll see what happens. Could turn out to be, as I said, this could turn out to be genius casting by RTD, or it's completely stupid. And the only way we'll find out is when we watch the show. But some fans have just had enough and they're not even going to watch now. So this was always going to be the situation that RTD was going to be in because of the last 5 years. As an American, and with all he drag controversy, this deeply offends me, and I will not be watching the 60th or Series 14, says Brisk. So Brisk is out. And of course, Queen Charlotte there agrees with PD. Fans will have no issue if it's acted and written well. I agree. But if it's just for virtual signal, then this show will lose fans again. And I agree with that as well. And there you go. Some people have claimed there are no women voices in the fandom. Well, there's one for you there. PD says he'll come on. Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll do. Just bear me a second. I'll ask you again now in a minute when I go through all these comments, because you know me. Just wait, because obviously I'm trying to get through as much as I can. We'll see what happens, of course, folks. We'll see. Leland is asking, can this person actually act? Their friend, their lodger used to be obsessed. Yeah, it's not the type of show that I'm into. I've never watched an episode of Drag Race. I've seen plenty of trailers, but it's not my thing. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I've never watched it, and I never intend on watching it. It's not my type of jam. I don't believe, as I said, it's adult entertainment and stuff. So, I mean, people will argue with me whether it should be on TV or not, but that's a different story. Um, Acted on Broadway, which isn't an easy thing to do. Well, the things that I seen on Broadway are things where they're just standing there as themselves. So I don't know if that's, unless I've missed something. There doesn't seem to be any. So some people don't like the image. JWC Review says she has a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from the same college as Brendan Fraser. Broadway experience, probably very decent, still odd choice. I think that's what it is. As I said, and I've made this clear, like, and I want to make it clear. If this person's a brilliant actor, right? I couldn't find out about their acting ability and blah, 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 right? But if this person's a great actor, right? And does well in the role, great. All well and good. There'll be no issue, right? But fans have seen over the last couple of weeks with these announcements, right? And it just seems to be it's either someone trans, now we got a drag queen, either someone gay or lesbian, which we don't mind because RTD done that before. But I mean, where's the diversity that you all bang on about? Like, I don't know. He's afraid to hire straight people or something. I just don't. And I don't get this casting choice. I mean, it's it's a sci-fi show. I mean, are they going to be in a bar somewhere or something? I don't get this casting. Anyway, let's see. They want an oncoming storm. They can forget it. A drizzle more like apathy has set in. They've lost their minds if they think this will bring in millions. Yeah. And I'm way, 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 way behind on some of the comments. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, because I think most is, hold on, let's see. Rob's exactly when Doctor Who used to be about sci-fi. I know. Now it's political, and I don't mean in political as in the show. I mean every decision that they seem to make is some sort of statement or a political something. Nerdaholic says, "Let's start facing the facts here. This new RTD era is going to be his party political broadcast that just happens to involve Doctor Who props." See, I don't really want to believe that because he never did that in the past, and I don't know why he'd want to do it now when he was so successful back in the day just doing Doctor Who and concentrating on making the best Doctor Who. Again, I think we do have to some people are not going to watch now, but I'm still going to watch. I have to give it a go. I have to see what it's like. Sorry, but this is just ridiculous. I would not put that idea past RTD. Maybe everyone is okay. I can't read that out. Um, you probably shouldn't have worded it that way. Um, yeah, I just keep the chat clean, please, folks. Come on. I've said it plenty of times. I don't like that sort of crap in the chat now. Come on. Yeah, I mean that was brought up to me as well about Paul O'Grady. But Paul O'Grady, listen, Paul O'Grady's drag is completely different to drag today. And Paul O'Grady was a legend, and he could multitask. Look, again, I'm not saying that this person's going to be crap. It's just, again, we're questioning the kind of what's behind the casting, like, you know what I mean? Because over the last 5 years, we know exactly. Yeah. So Lee has a point here. He says this is not LGBT representation. This is self-serving, narcissistic appropriation of a beloved show for prep. Now come on, man. God, Jesus, will you all go easy on me tonight, which is our comments. You have to remember, there's certain words I can't read out on YouTube. So if you want me to read your comments out, you have to be careful how you word them. You are not old-fashioned, Noel. You're normal. There is a reason drag shows were held in establishments for adults only. Thank you. Well, at least I know I'm not crazy there, Chris. Right, let's bring on me guests because they've been waiting long enough. And Sean says, no, I know what you're saying, but RTD of 2005 and RTD of 2023 are different animal. He is constantly bleating on about how anti-government he is, even in his tribute to Paul O'Grady. Anyway, let's bring on our guests. I'm not going to be fighting with anybody tonight, okay? I've just asked people to watch his comments in when he's writing comments on when I'm throwing them up on screen. I mean, if that's a big major task, you know what I mean? I'm not going to argue with people over this, okay? I've said it numerous times anyway till I'm blue in the face. Keep the chat clean, simple as that. Especially if I'm putting up comments in the chat. Anyway, let's bring on our guests tonight. We've got Real Super Doctor.
Hello.
And we got Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Hello.
Nice to see you, lads.
Oh,
hold on.
What happened?
There you go. Press the wrong button. There you go. So, lads, yeah, you've been listening to what I've had to say. You've obviously seeing some of the comments up on Twitter about the casting decision. But what are your opinions, guys? And I'll start with you first, Real Super Doctor.
Yeah. Well, I think that the casting choice is probably just a mistake. I think that for the past 5 years that Doctor Who has been losing viewers and that, and losing the confidence of the fans. I think that to go this direction, I think that it's going to be so obvious it's going to be bad. But we don't know what it's going to be like. That's the thing. Is this going to be agenda pushing over good writing or good storytelling? Is that what it's all about? Because if it is just agenda pushing and RTD's just out on a mission to to spread messages in the show and be totally political, I mean, a lot of fans will be done, including myself. I mean, Doctor Who. If this is the route Doctor Who's going, it's dead in the water.
Cinnamon.
I mean, I struggle to see the relevance of it. What about that screams Doctor Who? I mean,
Exactly.
looking at that, I can't fathom what about that tells me. There's no context around it either, so that kind of doesn't help because there is no context. There's no explanation. I know he said there's gonna be a thing about it in next month's magazine of Doctor Who magazine, but right now we know absolutely nothing, and it's just been thrown at us, and we're having to dissect basically an image, and a tweet or a post. And obviously that's not much to go on, is it?
That's what I mean, and that's what we're doing as fans. Obviously, we don't know how good this person's going to be, but as we say, first impressions are always,
Yeah.
key. And I think a lot of fans, including myself, have we've seen the castings over the past few weeks and haven't said anything because because mainly I've trusted the process and trusted RTD, but it's even getting. I can't even remain silent on this anymore. I have to speak up and say, look, there certainly does seem to be a Chibnall feel about all of this, and I'm starting to worry now. But the one thing that I always go back to is the fact that his first era was so great. But as some people have pointed out in the chat there now, he's a different animal to the RTD of 2005. This is 2023,
Yeah.
and he has, as Sean from the Nerdaholics has rightly pointed out, he has been very vocal lately, especially when it's come to politics. Even when he was talking about Paul O'Grady, as someone mentioned, he couldn't help himself. So, I mean, that's where the
Yeah, that
worry
was a
is
bit
starting
jarring
to
at that
creep in.
actually.
That's where the
Yeah.
worry is starting to creep in with me now. I've been on board with this all the way through, but I mean, I don't know what he's playing at.
Well, I'm still on board. I'm still optimistic. I know people think, "Oh, here we go again," but I am. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think much has changed. I mean, we sit there as a fandom, and also whether it's football or anything like we put these things on such a pedestal, and the slightest thing that goes wrong, or we're very quick to tear it all down again, say, "Oh, it's all over. It's the end of the world. It's all doom and gloom." But
Yeah.
like again, it's context matters. And I mean, if you do think like that, then fair enough. But we do have that tendency as people where we build it up and then we have not won't say high expectations, but we think we have a set opinion on it, and then the second that is slightly questioned, or the second we see something that we don't agree with, it's all down in smoke again. I mean,
I don't know. I haven't gone that far now. I know a
I know
few
you're
people
not. I know
said
you're not.
that.
I hear. I've seen
People
some
have
things on
said,
Twitter.
yeah. I've seen a few people say that they're out. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, as I said, from day one when he was cast, I'm going to, day one since he was back, I said it. I'm going to watch either way. I
Yeah.
will judge because that's the only way to judge is by watching.
As I look at
And
it, I like with the thing about that whole Sue's thing, that was about her as a person. When you watch the trailer that was she was in, as awful as the acting was, nothing about a character as cringy as it was, but nothing about a character or whatever that trailer was. You wouldn't say, "Oh, it was a bit of a woke thing."
yeah,
Oh God, it looked awful from an acting point of view and then a visual
yeah.
effects.
And as
But for all
Sci-Fi
we
Life
know,
says there, yeah, we're only speculating. All we can do is speculate. You know what I mean, Cinnamon?
Yeah.
But go ahead, Cinnamon. You
yeah.
were finishing there.
I was thinking, this whole Doom thing. So we haven't actually seen it yet. It might actually turn out to be decent. And if it is terrible, then I hope it's just terrible because it's a bad product, not because
Well, if
it's
it is
has
good,
a message
right,
behind it.
even though she's gone on a blocking spree and all of that,
Mhm.
even if it is good, we will come out and say it's good. See, that's the thing. I will openly come out and say that it's good if it's
Yeah,
good.
that's my point about this as
If
well.
it's
With this
yeah,
drag queen, whoever this person is, as a Doctor Who fan, I can't actually fathom. I can't. I'm trying to picture it now. What context could this person, like, imagine watching an episode. I can't picture an episode where she would be in it, or a situation. Unless it's some alien planet where it's like a competition and then she's in it or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? Like I can't. I'm trying to imagine it, her in the TARDIS or something like that. So and it's a bit hard to picture. I
That's
think
what I mean. It is hard to kind of picture what, because we don't know any major details. And I think right now we're only basing it off an image. We're basing it off, what's being given to us. And right now, and a lot of the reaction, I suppose, that people that may have reservations about this has got to do with the last 5 years. And I think people need to understand that when you had the previous showrunner who was clearly casting based off certain criteria, people are going to automatically jump to that conclusion when RTD then starts casting. It's a natural thing that happens in fandom, and it was always going to happen. Now, again, everything that the people that are disenfranchised with, they could be all proven wrong, but they could also be proven right, because as some people have rightly said, this can go one or two ways. It'll
Yeah.
either be a huge success or it'll be a fat failure, and that's the end of it, right? So, but the only way we'll find out is when we actually see this person on screen. So for now, we will, as I said, I will give RTD the benefit of the doubt. Personally, just me, right? I'm not speaking for anybody here. I don't want to speak for anybody here, but for me personally, I'm just gonna wait and watch, because I think, you know we're getting to a time in, with critics and stuff and YouTubers and all of that. We seem to jump the gun a lot. And it was the same with a few things that people jumped the gun on, and they were wrong about those things. We could be very well, in for a really great surprise here. Or, as I said, it could go the other way, but we won't really know until we actually see uh, Jinx Monsoon in action. And we got PD Rich joining us
Hey,
there. I just want to see if there's anybody else. So, is there anybody else that's in the chat right now that would like to? You don't make. Let's see. You don't make a show like this and choose actors based on how bigots and racists in the audience will react. I don't think. I Are you trying to say that people that are reacting to this are bigots? I don't know what you're trying to say there, but I think if that is what you're trying to say, I think that's a bit disingenuous. I think people are reacting to the casting because of what we've seen over the last 5 years. And this is what I said. I think we're getting into this danger where people, because people are reacting a certain way, everybody is automatically jumping, oh, they must be bigots. I don't agree with that assumption whatsoever. I think this is a consequence of the last 5 years, because the previous showrunner, even in interviews, has even admitted now that he based cast off certain criteria, which was gender or skin color and all of that. So this is why there's a reaction to this, the way there's a reaction to this. So, that's what I will say to that. Paul O'Grady was on Doctor Who for about 30 seconds in the clip. It wasn't a major cast announcement. This is a major cast announcement. So they will have a big prominent role, which is a fair thing to say as well.
I don't even think it's the being drag itself. It's what it's associated with and what we see drag being associated with nowadays, and kind of the culture that it comes from. The idea of someone dressing up in a clothing or whatever, I don't think that in itself is the issue. It's where it's stemming from and what the connections with it and what people naturally associate it with when they see, oh, look at the drag persons. So a drag is going to be in the show.
But that's what I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to make. That's why there is this reaction from some of us. It's because we do know that the last 5 years were based off agenda. And now we're wondering, is RTD doing the same with his castings? And I think that's a natural question to ask after what's happened the last 5 years. I really do. I don't think it should be criticised. Again, as I've said, and everybody on the panel so far that we've heard from have said, if this person turns out to be a great actor and does well in the role and there's no virtuous signaling, they'll be happy. So I don't know what the problem is, to be quite honest with you. I think everybody is entitled to have their opinion. And of course, if you have the opposite opinion to that, that's fine. But nobody is a bigot for having that opinion. I'm sorry, but I'm sick of that word being thrown around and racist and all of this other rubbish.
Well, they're going to lose their meanings in the end. All that's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to use the term, but dog whistle. I can't stand it when people say that, but it is a sort of form of that. Like, oh, the second you see something,
I mean, we've had
someone
Babette on
criticising.
before. I've had Babette on before, and I'm not having a go, right? The show has always had gay producers and cast members. I'm not blind. I've watched the show for over 40 years, right? I've watched Classic Who. I know the ins and outs of the show. I know the history of the show. I know who's worked behind the scenes. I know who was gay, who was straight, and whatever, right? That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about what happened the last 5 years. And over the last 5 years, there was clearly an agenda. The showrunner himself has said it in a recent interview that he cast for certain reasons. So this is why we're getting the reaction today, because people are thinking, well, is RTD using the same method here, or is he actually casting based off ability? And right now, we don't know the answer to that. So people are going to express their opinion on this, and that's the opinion people are given, right? People are wary. People are understandably suspicious, right? And that's normal. I don't want to have a go, but I think it's short-sightedness, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, we got a fractured fandom at the moment. That's my worry.
Yeah.
And this is what it's doing. But again, we don't know, but fans are entitled to have their opinion.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can't just all of a sudden, oh, everybody's a bigot for having a no. Sorry, absolutely not.
There's no right or wrong answers to this one, Noel.
People think she may be the Rani. The Rani.
God.
Well,
I mean, everyone's
the
around
thing. Again, I will say though, but I will say though, if Jinx Monsoon is great in the role, no problem, right? The people can argue about the fact that whatever, but if they're good in the role, fair enough.
Like I say, if she could be the most, a great character, should be a well-written character. Whatever episode she so happens to take place in, this drag character. I mean, I don't know how it's going to wear. Is it? Are they always going to be in this costume? Are they going to be out of it? Is like this because there's a character on EastEnders who Felix, and he's a character, and he sometimes he's in costume, sometimes he's out of it. Is it going to be like that? Is it a thing he does? Is he always in costume? That's kind of the thing. That's the context we don't know. We don't know what the episode is. We don't know how long he's going to be in for. I mean, he sort of said on a post, make room for the TARDIS. I'm packing the bag, so it's kind of, I don't know if he's actually going to be traveling the TARDIS. But again, it's all of this. There's too many questions and not enough answers to it. So no one knows. So everyone's all panicking, and then you've got people saying, "Oh, well, what is it? Is this? Is there an agenda behind it? Might be. There might not be. We don't know yet."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I personally, if you're asking me, I don't see it as a big of a deal. I do completely understand why people are going to look at that and put two and two together, especially with this Sue's character. If you take 2 seconds to look at what she's tweeting about, she fits all the bill. She fits everything that BBC would want. So it's not that massive stretch. It's not that out of order. You're out of order for thinking there's a bit of a connection when you've got people like Sue's in the fandom or in the community, and you've got people like Juno Dawson as well, and all the stuff they've been championing, campaigning for, and the things they've been spouting. And then you see stuff like this. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to bring things that aren't, those things all connect to each other.
Exactly. We got someone here, don't know who they are. It's probably just someone making up an account. What happened to? I was just about to get back into. What? Oh no, they're asking. What? I was just about to get back into Doctor Who because David came back. Listen, this is what I would say. I wouldn't stop watching the 60th anniversary because of a casting decision that's being made for Series 14. Right? Seriously, I wouldn't. Listen, as I said, we're talking about this because I did see people reacted to it. There was a positive reaction, and there's also been a negative reaction to it. Okay? So this is why we're discussing it. All right? But I would say, the 60th anniversary is a completely different animal to what's it. I always told you anyway, if you've been following this channel from day one, I told you Series 14 was going to be something completely alien to what you know Doctor Who to be. The 60th is kind of like the last hurrah for the way we know Doctor Who. Doctor Who is changing. So, I wouldn't 60th anniversary. Listen, 60th anniversary, if you decide after the 60th you're done, right? But the 60th anniversary Doctor Who fans, it's a celebration anyway. Listen, I honestly believe anyway that the 60th, no matter what happens with casting and announcements anyway, for Series 14 is going to affect the 60th because it is the 60th anniversary. That's the way I look at it, and I've always said it. The 60th anniversary will be fine. It'll be after the 60th anniversary. Lord Henry says, let me see. I personally struggle to see the issue. They are just an actor at the end of the day. If they have been cast in a part and they work for the part, then what's the issue? But here's again, I've explained this. The reason why there is a bit of a reaction is because obviously the previous regime admitted that they cast based off certain criteria. And a lot of fans out there are worried that this may be the case with RTD. But we all are in agreement with you, as you've said there, Lord Henry. If they are actually good in the role and they play the part well and they're given great dialogue, nobody has an issue. Right?
Exactly. No disagreement with that.
Yeah, exactly. This is just an initial reaction. Obviously, we will react later on when we hear more, obviously, about the character start of all, and then obviously when we see that person on screen.
Yeah, exactly.
The only difference is that people are not in the closet or hidden from you. Baba, I actually don't know what your issue is tonight, but you're trying to suggest something that we're not on this channel, right? Okay. I've had you on. I've had Lee on. PD is here, right? This is the most diverse YouTube channel out there, and I don't use that as a badge of honor or anything like that, but that's just the fact of the matter. So I don't know what you're trying to suggest, but I'd appreciate it if you have a different opinion on this situation, on this casting. Well, then give us your opinion in more of a less aggressive manner, and I'll read it out.
Yeah, Babette, JT, who's on Dan Hadley's channel, he's completely against this, and we all know JT's gay. So what's the problem? Seriously.
I know it's like someone's trying to suggest something. We're just having a conversation here.
Yeah, this is just speculation at the moment.
Absolutely ridiculous.
This is ancient aliens.
No, but it is. This is what's happened to fandom because of the last 5 years. It's fractured. Everybody's acting ridiculous. We're just having a stream and giving opinions.
Yeah.
If you have an opposite opinion to the opinions that you're hearing in the chat and on the panel, well then, by God, put it in the chat so I could put it up and read it on screen. Okay? Now let me see. Can someone tell me what the issue? Lord Henry, I think I've explained that, so we will move on. Disaster Area says this. I think RTD is smarter than that. He will cast from his side to keep everybody happy, but it does not mean he will play drag on screen. Again, that's what I'm saying. Not we're all just speculating here right now.
Good point, Disaster. Good point.
It is indeed. It is.
You've got to remember with Doctor Who, it's a very uncanny valley show as well. So they could get a drag queen to play a female to make it a bit more uncanny valley. It's always been like that.
Someone is
It's
saying
not
the accent.
it's not Star Trek. It's not clean cut.
Yeah,
it's a little bit out there.
Apparently, my accent is cool. Yeah, that's an Irish Dublin accent for you there. I am the coolest person on this stream, so thank you for recognising.
That was kind of what I was saying, Lord Henry. The character might be to do with the character, whatever the episode is that character is in. There will be a reason for why. I mean, I'd assume there's a reason for why this is. We just don't know what that reason is, or if there's a reason. So, and I'm sure I said that earlier. So yeah, it could absolutely be that. That could be the case. That it is a character who just so happens to be drag. There might be nothing more to it. Maybe we're looking into it a bit much. When some of the news we've got recently, I don't think it's not a stretch to
exactly.
To
it's not.
people.
And if you include the last regime admitting that the way they did things, of course people are gonna jump to all sorts of conclusions, right? Then you're gonna have your fans that just see this as another great casting. That's fantastic, right? Then you're gonna have a section of fans that are gonna be unsure, right? But are gonna wait and see. I'm in that category, and I think a lot of us on this panel, I say the four of us on the panel right now, are probably in that category right now. We can't judge this person, obviously, because
we haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
But when you look, you got to, as I said, there are people reacting to it because, some people think this is same old, exactly what Chips did. RTD is doing the exact same thing. And people are going to react to it. So we'll see what happens, man. Look people are bringing up Mrs. Doubtfire, Tootsie and all of that. Right? Yes, we grew up with them and I love them. Right? Again, that's what we're saying. They're right now, okay, as I said, this is either a work of genius by RTD and he's cast absolutely perfectly, or could go the other way. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to do a stream and not talk about the good and the bad.
You'll cover both sides of the story.
I'm trying to cover both sides here.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm reading out people's comments on the opposite side of the argument. I have no problem reading it out, but I won't have people in the chat trying to not actually accuse as such, but maybe suggest that there's something else going on here. And I won't tolerate that, right? Bottom line is that whether you like it or not, there's different sides to this. There's different fans that feel differently about this. And this channel tries to get all of those views and opinions on. It's not my problem and not my fault that, that the other side would rather, or people out there would rather just call people names rather than give their point of view. And here's another one from Lord Henry, who says, in the film industry, you have to cast based on how people look. If the script calls for a white person or if the script calls for a cross-dresser, then you would cast them. Surely, again, I agree with you. Nobody is disputing that.
It's the only.
I think everybody is taking this stream the wrong way, man.
Yeah,
I really do.
Probably.
I think you are, man. All I'm just saying, I'm asking questions because I've seen people in the fandom on whatever side of the on whatever side they fall on, but there's been a mixed reaction. I'm not going to come on here and lie to people and tell everybody that it's been nothing but positive. Nobody's saying nothing bad. No, nothing bad's ever said, right? Or someone might be on the fence, right? No, I just can't do that. I have to talk about it all. And some people don't like that for some weird reason.
Oh, because you're not allowed to talk about it. You can't question it.
Disaster Area says as well, again, We need to wait and see if the character will be drag. He could play an alien. Exactly. We don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
And
what I
I
was getting
actually
at.
even mentioned
Well,
that.
I was just thinking there. I was listening to one of the Paul McGann audio from Big Finish, and it was a bit of a kooky one because it was all like in the 1930s in Germany, and it was all about the theatre. And it was like there was one about, I think it's called Scapegoat, and it was literally a sort of man, half goat kind of thing. It could be to do with that. Maybe they go to a theatre or something, and there's a drag character or something like that. Like I say, it could be anything. There could be that there's a story there that we just don't know what it is. And like I said, we've just been thrown this bit of news and think, oh, okay, well, what's the connection? What does drag queens have to do with Doctor Who? Like, what's the connection there?
Yeah,
That's the thing.
and
That's
I
the
think
big
that's a
discussion.
genuine question that fans are allowed to ask. But nowadays, it seems like you're not allowed to ask questions. But I bet with another comment says, drag queens are world famous now. Their casting is news now. That's the world we live in. Yeah, you're right. It is the world we live in. I have my opinions on it. I think everybody knows where I stand on drag entertainment.
Well,
Or
they're famous because they're being normalized, but yeah.
yeah, or this character might be a character of the family of Ruby Sunday, so we don't know.
Could be one. Yeah, could be a relation.
Because the way RTD writes, I mean, the way we can see it, we could perceive it as wrong, right? And when it's produced and when it goes out and when we've seen the episode, it's an entirely different thing. It's like Captain Jack with all the sexuality he had. I mean, nobody bothered about that.
I know, but that was a different era. Again,
Yeah.
I think there is a bit of a misconception here. The last 5 years have really done a number on fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, some fans are going to question all of these casting decisions. Again, as DBS says there, drag has been part of theatre performances for centuries. Theatre, opera, vaudeville, silent movies. If the script is good, the show is good. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but when you say there about a famous person being cast, it wasn't the person being cast wasn't the actress or the actor. It was they were announced as the character of this drug person they're playing as. It wasn't like as if they announced that Mrs. Brown's Boys as the next to be the next series of Doctor Who. They'd announced that the bloke who plays the character Brendan or whatever his name is. Yeah, they announced it as Brendan, the actor, not the character. That's the issue. They're announcing it as the actual character dressed up in full drag outfit. So obviously people are going to question, well, is it going to be about drag and all that? Because they haven't announced the character, the person.
I will say though that the photo, the official photo that they thrown up. Yeah, I was, normally when they do throw up casting photos, there are times you might see them in their costume. But we have seen with RTD, and it is fair to say that with Shooty, Millie, when they were announced, we didn't actually see them in their costumes. So it'd probably be safe to assume that maybe Vicky, what's her name, Jinx Monsoon, is not in costume. The only one that we've actually seen in proper costume, actually, is Anybody Got to Do with the 60th. Remember? We had Neil Patrick Harris and David Tennant and stuff, but they usually wait, because I think it was a couple of weeks after he was announced, then we got them in the car park with Billy and they were showing off their costumes for the first time. So maybe that isn't their costume and it's just a publicity shot. But yeah, as I said, nothing. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, me chat.
Have any of you lads ever heard of Jinx Monsoon?
No.
I don't watch.
Because you're saying that he's internationally famous. Well, yeah, because you know him, and you probably are in that. You probably are familiar with drag queens. It's like me saying, "Oh, do you know who that so and so person is from this show?" And you're like, "Oh, I never watched it." But you wouldn't know, would you? I would know because I've watched it.
Jordan Jack Rabbit is in the chat as well, and he joins us along with Raymond Williams and John Michael Fink. We got a couple of new names in there. So if you're new in the chat, I'll give you a shout out. As someone who follows RTD on Instagram, it's obvious he's doing this for political reasons. I'm sorry, says Jordan Jack Rabbit. So let's see who else we've got. RTD is here to heal the fandom and please everyone. I think he is trying to do that. I honestly look at. I do believe there is a certain amount of that behind it. I really do. I'm not going to sit here and be naive to think that there's not. I really do believe that he is trying to appease everybody, right? But again, this is where I think he's gone wrong, right? And I think this is where a lot of showrunners go wrong. It's not about appeasing anybody, right? He shouldn't have to pander to fans. He shouldn't have to pander to these casuals, right? He should just basically write the best version of Doctor Who he can. And if it is the best version of Doctor Who, people will watch it. It's going to be on Disney Plus as well. People will tune in if it's a well-written show, right? This is where I think they are making mistakes. You cannot please everybody. That's the thing. He'll never please everybody. Already, there's people having a debate about this casting decision. Remember, it was the same when Shooty was cast. We had people out there questioning that. The only casting decision that hasn't been questioned, actually, is Millie Gibson's. But some did actually claim that, she was Billie Piper 2.0. But on the whole, her casting is the only one where I think everybody was in agreement it was a good casting. With every other casting decision, even David Tennant coming back, there's been criticism. So, like, every casting decision that has been made, I'm sorry, from all sides of the fandom, there's been some sort of criticism. And that is normal. That's what fandoms do. You may not agree with people's criticism, but that's just the fandom. That's what fandoms have always done. Best thing about things with streams like this and being on Twitter is what we can have these discussions.
Exactly.
And talk about these things. But Baba has a piece of interesting information on the show. The Rani can't appear due to legal rights issues. So there's something that I didn't know. So thank you for that piece of information. We don't know, Peter. Peter has asked the question, and that's a legit question that people have been asking. So is Jinx Monsoon? So Jinx Monsoon is the drag act. Yeah, but we don't know if they're going to be drag in the show, and I think that's the point that some people are making in the chat, and it's a valid point. Queen Charlotte is saying good night, so we'll say good night to her Queenie. She's
Night,
probably
Charlotte.
already gone
Night,
ages,
Charlotte.
but sorry if we missed you, because I'm trying to read out as many comments as I can, get you all involved. As I said, we want to try get you more involved. John Jack Rabbit says it's definitely appropriate for kids to watch. Just saying, and before anyone compares adult television, fine, but not family shows. And that is where I agree with Jack.
True.
And this is the issue that I do have on this whole casting. Is where do we draw the line?
Exactly.
You know, it's, to me, drag is adult entertainment. I've been at drag shows, right? So I know what goes on at drag shows. And they're brilliant, right? There's nothing better. They're brilliant, right? It's a laugh. You'll have the best night of your life, you know what I mean? Especially if you're a couple, bring your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. You'll have your boyfriend, whatever. You'll have a bleeding laugh and a half, right? Brilliant. And it's naughty and stuff like that, and it's funny and it's crass and it's everything a drag act should be.
Yeah.
Right. My problem is that over the last recent years we've tried to normalize that as family entertainment, and that's where I'm in agreement with Jack.
Yeah.
Now, if they're not playing a drag queen in Doctor Who, well, then that makes our point null and void, obviously. But if they are playing drag, then the question will be asked, is it appropriate to have drag queens in a sci-fi show as well, by the way, but one that's going to be on Disney Plus and is and has been for 60 plus years a family show. Now, people will bring up the Hinchcliffe and Holmes eras about them being, majorly violent and all of that, right? But that's completely different era, different time. Doctor Who over the years has actually toned down. If you ask me, it's never been like this the 70s, never been like the 70s. That's one of my favorite eras of Doctor Who. I like the gritty stuff. I believe that. In fairness, I said this actually ages ago, and no, it's not going to happen now because it's on Disney Plus. But I was hoping that this show would actually go darker because I think Doctor Who would work better
Yeah.
if it was not aimed towards more adults as such, but the content in it was a bit more, there's a bit more to it, instead of you shoot someone and the fake just lying down and all this. A little bit of blood is not going to kill anybody. They did it with Torchwood and it worked very well. That's the way I'd love Doctor Who to go, but it never will. Matt Jones says, guessing there'll be an alien made up. We'll see. The implication is that they will cross. They will. Oh, sorry. The implication is that they will be cross-dressing in the role. Well, we don't know. We don't know at the moment. Let me see.
But in the past, I think that RTD had strict rules with the show that they couldn't push too far in boundaries. I think that there was going to be a scene with Martha Jones in a bikini, and it was removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there still? I've seen your comment there, Pete. Is there still some crap going on in the chat?
Hopefully not. Hopefully it's calmed down now. But it was just a.
Although I would like to see a companion in a bikini, yeah, but after Planet of Fire, but it's like after that, these things kind of stopped. It's like the Doctor Who had a certain kind of code not to be, overly
no hanky panky in the TARDIS,
and no hanky panky in the TARDIS.
Baba says, Jinx Monsoon is internationally famous to the audience that watches TV. I mean, I see, again, I see what you're doing here. I could read, you're being snipey with your comments. I watch TV. We watch TV. I don't watch Ruth Paul's drag race because, as I said, trying to normalize drag on TV, to me personally, shouldn't be happening. It's adult entertainment and it should stay there. Yeah, I mean, if you want to have adult shows, maybe Ruth Paul is an adult show. I don't know because I don't watch, but it's not my type of TV. But I certainly do watch TV. And you say, ask an American who Philip Schofield is. Well, again, I think that's a bit of a...
Don't mention that name at the moment.
I mean, no, but I mean...
Probably been through all that,
ask
things
an
that
American who Philip Schofield is. I know what you're saying with that comment there. It's, but again, I don't know what your issue is. People are entitled to have their opinions. I mean, again, as I said, if you're willing to tell us why you believe this is great casting, please give us your opinion. But I do watch TV. And of course, Americans don't know who Philip Schofield is. Sure, Americans don't even know where Romania or Africa or any other country is on the map because these are all so
Well, some
self-absorbed, right? So, like, don't talk to me about not knowing that, and you just hardly know outside your own borders. Sick of this shit, man.
Only 20% of them have passports, wasn't it? So some figure like that. I'll look it up.
Silence in the library was pretty full on. Says, it was creepy more than anything else, wasn't it? I like the creepy episodes.
Some of the best, I thought.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, the scary episodes are great.
When you get like ones like Midnight and Blink
Yeah,
or Climbing the Angels and Flesh and Stone.
Nerdaholics would have had a point here as well. I don't think I don't think you cast a drag queen for them not to be in drag. Otherwise, why wouldn't he just cast as an actor?
Yeah, that was what I was saying. Like, if you know, if it was playing Alpha Centauri, like someone said, then they would just cast the bloke, his real name, and him just in a t-shirt or something. You know, if you did a big photo shoot and got him to dress up in his costume, and they're using his drag name, obviously, logically you would think, well, he's going to be playing the drag in the show as well, because otherwise, what's the point?
Oh, I don't know with Babette now, because Babette is saying he's not being snipey, but it seems to me, I don't know what you're trying to say to me. But Jinx isn't a movie star. He is a TV star. I'm not being snipey. Well, I mean, I don't know if you're defending the casting or whether you're against it, because I don't really know what your opinion is. I earlier on, I thought you were attacking us because, like, we were bringing up the fact that some people do have an issue with this, and I thought you were suggesting something like so. I don't know where you are on it. So let me know. As I said, give me your opinion on the casting, and obviously if you've seen, obviously you have because you keep talking about Jinx. So let me know what your opinion is on Jinx acting, and do you think this is a great casting decision? Give me your opinion and I'll throw it up. Let me see. Who else have we got? TARDIS Time says, I think this Jinx will be playing an alien, but we won't know until we know the context. But again, great point about, why would you mention all of this if they're not going to be playing a drag character?
It could be an alien role, as they said. It could be a shape-shifting alien that takes on appearances, but we don't really know.
Exactly.
Raymond Williams makes a good point, though, as well. Frank Skinner wasn't known for being an actor, but he gave a good performance as Perkins in Mummy on the Orient Express. So I do agree with you on that one. Absolutely. I like Frank Skinner as well.
Perkins was great.
You can look at Peter Kay. He wasn't playing himself, really. He was playing a Absorbaloff.
Yep.
Right, so Garbage says this, and again, as I said, it's a different opinion. Maybe I should say it for the fourth time. The issue is these announcements from RTD every few weeks, announcing a trans man, a trans female, and a drag act will not bring in millions of viewers.
Yeah,
that's garbage.
Kind of agree from that because, as I said, we're a fractured fandom. It's it's just going to put so many people off. This is what the problem is.
It's got
to be softer.
Yeah, we got soft, cuddly, angry in the chat as well. Welcome, Peter, all the way from Australia. They've said, okay, so Baba has said, I've never seen Jinx. I don't know if it's good casting. It's just casting. A famous person under his professional name in showbiz. He's famous.
Hey, Gobby.
Okay,
Oh,
but
Gobby.
can I just say though, but being famous doesn't necessarily guarantee you gonna be good in this. Now I have heard they've done some stage work, right? But I went and checked the Wikipedia, and they did some what you call them variety kind of shows on theatre stages. So I don't know if they've actually done acting, and this is another issue as well. I mean, are you casting the best people for the roles?
But I think that's the big question, isn't it? That's what people are really wanting to know. Are you are you hiring people because they fit a certain box, fit a certain thing that you agree with, or are you actually getting people because you're writing for that character and you've got a character and you're hiring for that character? I like to think that is. I mean, I'm assuming that I like to believe that the latter. I do believe that they are casting
Yeah.
because it is a character they want to do, and they want to get a certain person for it. I don't know. Like the thing is, like I did with the whole shooty thing. We were saying, like I see people on GB News saying, the cast him go because it's war because the cast him because he's black. I thought, well, you don't
Yeah,
know that. Like
that was
I
bullshit.
I make people like me, Noel, we all
That was
defended.
Darren Grimes, yeah. But
Yeah,
that,
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like people like that, they were all coming on the work and saying, Doctor Who's woke just because it dared to hire a black actor. None of us was complaining then. If anything, like I say, we were the ones defending it and saying, "Well, don't jump the gun. We don't know if it was diversity casting."
yeah.
And from what I believe and from what we were told, it seems it wasn't that way either. It seems that he was the last person of the audition. They were going to give it to somebody else, and he absolutely stole the show. And why would I think, oh no, you're lying there, Russell? Why would I not believe him on that? I'm going to take his
Yeah.
word because he's never given me reason not to believe him. Yeah, he's got his views. I don't always agree with them, but when it comes to stuff on Doctor Who, when he's writing in his work, like that's irrelevant.
Baba says, Jinx could suck. Who knows? And then straight after, LOL. Sorry, I know where you were going with that joke. Maybe it's gone over some people's heads, but I got exactly what you were doing with that. Yeah. Bad Wolf has Jinx, says soft and cuddly, angry. And we've got, as the guy said, Gobby Guy is in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Again, just keep the chat respectable and clean, please. Just want to make that. Yeah, we know they went to the same drama school as Brendan Fraser, so that's a point in the right direction, isn't it? So
Yeah.
And I suppose, like I say, there was Bonnie Langford, who I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the script editor? Eric Saywood wasn't particularly pleased about because I think towards the end, with him being skeptical of Colin Baker's casting, and then to get sort of some ballet dancer who wasn't a big TV star, there were eyebrows. So it took the first time, but people are
Gobby
gonna.
again with a proper point there. Not sure why these press releases are being done. It's not exactly helping it, is
No,
it?
it isn't.
No. I mean, no. That has to be admitted. I'm just kind of. I'm not throwing in the towel because I said I would watch it. But as I said, there are a lot of fans out there that are starting to question stuff, and that was a natural thing that was going to happen.
It's
But
okay to question everything. That's what makes us sane, I guess. Always question everything. Never take below or never accept low standards. Always demand the best if you can give the best, because that's how it always should be. And we used to get the best, but now we feel like for the past 5 years during the Chibnall year that we were forced to accept low standards. So the second they dangled their keys in front of us like children, oh look at these weeping angel, you love that, won't you? Well, yeah, that's good, but like, is that the bare minimum, or are we all going to get really excited just because there's I suppose you would get excited if the Weeping Angels are coming back, because as you would as a fan. But do you know what I mean? Like we should be demanding the best. And like I seen a tweet. I haven't actually read this month's magazine. I've got it, but I haven't really read through it yet. And I saw a tweet that said like in episode 2, apparently there's going to be a shot or a scene, and it's going to be like a massive thing. Apparently, that we're bigging it up. That's kind of what that's what I want to see. I want to see them talking it up like that. Oh, this shot, this is going to be that most iconic thing. I can't remember what the exact tweet said, but it was something along those lines. It was really bigging it up.
And RTD actually wrote something about, I think it was episode 3. He said it's some of the best stuff that he's written ever.
Yeah, stuff like that. Stuff like that is exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah, that's the stuff you do want to hear. But Nerdaholic says the single feeling I have with RTD taking over was not to save the show, but to hammer home his 2023 worldview. If this is the best thing he's ever done, I am worried, says Nerdaholics. And then Garbage says, I think I'm being trolled now. All these people repeating the same accusations despite numerous times saying that it's not the issue. It seems to be done to cause a response, says Gobby Guy. Again, I have to agree with you. I don't know what it is, but when me and Charlotte were talking about, Doomsday, we start conspiring in the background, and we came up with the conclusion that announcement was sabotage because everything was going well up until then. But since that Doomsday announcement, there's just, I don't know, man. It feels like some things are going backwards, and after such a good run, I don't know what's going on. Do you know what? Do you remember when Disney announced the whole Disney thing, and some fans were skeptical, but then the BBC and Disney kind of tried to make it clear to fans that Disney wouldn't have any input. I don't know, man. I don't know. This just stinks. Some of this stinks of Disney. I don't know. Maybe there is
One
more
thing
to
about
that.
Doom out there is that they're saying it's multimedia. I mean, that won't actually be on the show, whether that's just in comics or Big Finish or something else.
Yeah.
Will that actually be on the TV show? I know this new character will be, but do you know what I mean? Like, is this whole Doom thing, as much as we're all, critical of it, will it actually affect the show, or is it just a Big Finish? In the Doctor Who magazine or something else, or maybe a mobile game or something like that.
Will it be actually good? We have to say that as well, because we can't always just assume that all these things are going to be crap. But it is important to say that first impressions always go a long way.
Exactly.
And the first impressions so far are not, because we've seen the reaction.
Well, there is a rumor about Doomsday at the moment. Rabbi was telling us that Russell T Davies is not impressed by it. It was being done behind the scenes by BBC Studios.
Well, that was again, that was the thing, wasn't it? I think I was watching your stream, Noel, and I think you said that is this Bad Wolf or is this BBC Studios? And for me, I felt like BBC Studios, like this was them, because it didn't feel the quality of it.
Yeah,
we're getting talked about the bigger budget. If you're getting a bigger budget and that's what you're throwing out, I know it's not, a massive. Well, they claim it's a bigger thing, but do you get my point? Like, I didn't feel like that was something like.
It doesn't feel like a multimedia event. It feels like something thrown together by a bunch of Doctor Who fans, and that may be actually the case, because remember, not Bad Wolf Studios, but BBC Studios and Big Finish have been employing a lot of these YouTubers that used to make the fan content. So this could be something that is written by a fan that they've employed, because this does not look like a professional job.
No,
everything about it seems to be a little club as well. We bring in Seuss because we know her, sort of thing as well. You know, they talk about that Doctor Who was a boys' club and all of this rubbish. Well, they're certainly making it into a club for certain demographics out there and people that they know. Because it always seems to be people you'll see, they'll be congratulating this person for getting a job, and then a couple of months or a year later, they'll get a job in the organization, and then that person will congratulate them, and then all of a sudden, then they're working for this. And we've seen this over the last 5 years, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is got to do with those, because if that's professional, if that is actually done by RTD, if that rumor is true, we don't know. But if that rumor isn't true and this has got RTD stamped all over it, well, first impressions weren't great, and that's another red flag right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got Gobby, but you here, it's the best I've written, and then you get Doomsday, trans man, trans woman, and now a drag act, says Gobby. Again, that's what I'm trying to say. You're trying to, fans have heard what the previous showrunner has said about casting based off certain criteria. It wasn't even get the best person for the role. So that's what I'm saying. You're going to have people with those opinions and be suspicious. And I have to say, it is justified, because as I said, what's happened the last 5 years, and you can't blame fans for having that opinion. Yes, no, says soft, cuddly, angry. Yes, no, I think Doomsday was a clear indication of going downhill. Peter Harrington has gone as far as to say, we want the Bating back. No.
God,
listen,
no.
Listen,
Kill that thing.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to say this, right? If RTD's era does end up like being the Chris Chibnall era, right, and it's awful, right? There is no way on this planet would I be taking Chris Chibnall or Jodie Whittaker back with open arms. It would never happen in this universe or in my lifetime. Absolutely not. I would rather the show listen, but this is what will happen. This is what I'd like to happen. If it doesn't turn out and it ends up being crap, I'd love the show to be shelved. But that's not what's going to happen. See, they have a deal with Disney now, and you see, Disney would have paid for Doctor Who to be shown on that platform for a number amount of years. So even if this is the sad thing about it, if RTD's era is a complete failure, it doesn't matter. Doctor Who's good name will be dragged through for another couple of years until at least the Disney deal runs out, or they decide to renew it again, which means it'll be dragged on for as long as they can milk it, right? So, we have to hope that RTD knows is. I hope it is genius and he knows what he's doing, because there is no going back. No going back. Never. I wouldn't even take Stephen Moffat back at this stage. At this stage, it's done. RTD is the last hope.
He's got to hit the ground running. If he doesn't, that's it.
See, I think Babette does actually make a fair point. Ultimately, it's just a famous person being cast. I can already tell the most annoying thing for me about RTD's era will be the publicity stunts in the press. It hurts fandom and feeds the culture wars. You know what, Babette? You met a lot of.
There you go.
People have been saying that. I think they do. Now, I do honestly believe that the actual industries themselves have created this culture war by doing exactly and making the decisions because they know. Because for some weird reason in their heads, they've got to, well, even bad publicity, even if it's 90% bad, it's still publicity. and it shouldn't be like that. And it's another way as well of admitting that you're basically crap at what you do, you're lazy, and you create
Yeah.
these conflicts because then you want two sides or three sides or whatever factions fighting with each other, and then people will go and either hate watch the show or people will go and watch the show even if it's not good, but
Yeah.
they have to support
Yeah.
it.
The
And
pro-
that's exactly what we've gotten into right now. But you see, the thing about it is a vicious circle because they're going
Yeah.
to keep making stupid decisions, and us fans are going to keep coming out and calling it out. So
Well,
unless
they're the
someone,
fairness. They're the fairness, and we're the coal. It's not a good mix. You can have fire.
so
Yeah.
here's the thing: it only stops when one side decides to stop, and I can tell you now, fans will never stop,
Yeah.
and the industry, well, we'll see how many more years they can keep losing money. But I think their position is kind of weakening, to be quite honest with you. It's still not fast enough, weakening their grip, but it's getting there. It's getting there, but not fast enough. But that's exactly what's happened. It's a perfect storm of just absolute
Yeah.
chaos that
And the
has
pro-
been created by the industry because they're lazy.
Yeah.
They've become creatively bankrupt. So rather than try focus on making the industry better and trying to seek out that talent, they've decided to create this because it's easier to create all of the
Yeah.
storm and then have
Yeah.
shit shows. And we're
And the-
getting a lot of shit lately. And we've noticed Disney Star Wars again is not doing too well.
Yeah.
And you know, then it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's the problem though. It's the problem with Disney Star Wars at the moment. Is both sides are angry now, and they're attacking the middle. This is what's going to happen. But this is what happened to fan bait. It goes too far, and when you go too far, people will just start attacking. It's the problem.
Yeah, Gobby is right. He did sing its praises. I think he just done that publicly, though. To be quite honest, or
Well, yeah,
maybe he does
he's either
honestly
going to come
think
out and
it's.
criticize
I
it.
mean, he reminds me. RTD kind of reminds me of James Gunn right now at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, James Gunn has convinced everybody that the Flash movie is one of the best movies ever, and then he came out about Blue Beetle
Yeah.
as well. Now I watched the trailer, and I know everybody's focused on the line where someone, I think Blue Beetle's uncle or whoever, fucking
Yeah.
their man, says, "Oh, Batman's a fascist," and everybody has jumped on that line. But the trailer itself was actually great, and there's one line at the end where they basically slag Batman off. I mean, like, give it over. Just wait and see what happens. Jesus
Well,
Christ!
yeah. I mean, we don't know why he said that. Again, context is really. I've not seen that trailer, so I will be honest. But whatever, why ever he said that, if it said so, for a cheap, quick joke, then yeah. But if this is a
I mean,
reason
it
why he
was
said
right
that,
at the end. The trailer was great, and I guarantee all the people that are moaning thought the trailer was great up until they heard that line, and
Yeah.
then like people are overreacting. Oh, I'm done. I'm not watching it. Oh,
I know.
how
I
dare
know.
you say that about Batman? Jesus Christ!
We've just had the
well,
same
that was what I
thing.
was saying. That one little tiny thing, and it all comes down in flames. Like you
I
can't.
know.
Why can't we just call it out and say, "Yep, I'm not a big fan." Like I did with the whole Doom
Because
thing. Like,
that's
you can't just say,
exactly what the industry has created, and that's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Because then
like
they'll
I looked at
see
it on a
people
case by case
complaining, and
basis.
then you'll have all these crazy fans come out and say, "Well, you just say yeah," and then it starts off the old culture war.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been
I'm
going.
looking at it on a case by case basis. So with that Doom thing, I looked at that and thought, didn't look very professional at all. Didn't excite me. No, they did a tweet out the previous day, and everyone was, "Oh, what is it going to be?" And then it was
Yeah.
that, and it was underwhelming because it was, or at least we thought it was, and so
Yeah.
we said it was, and then we moved on. Or at least I did. I said, "Yep, didn't like that, but I'll give it a
That's it.
chance. If it's good, then fair enough. It might be." But I
That's
don't
what
go
I
on
do
about
now.
it, and I don't make it into a bigger thing and say, "Oh, well,
Listen,
that's
that's
it,"
what I
or
do now.
and start going on about, "Oh, well, did Russell
It's the
make
best
it?"
thing to do. Listen, that's what I do now. I go into a show, I hear opinions on both sides, and I say, do you know what? I'm going to watch it for myself, right? And if I don't
Yeah.
like it, I stop. If I like it, I'll continue to watch and I'll say that I like it. And I won't let anybody tell me that I can't enjoy joy stuff like some YouTubers out there have been doing and telling people, you know, you're basically stabbing other fans in the back, like if you watch a certain show because like a certain showrunner I don't like has nothing to do with it, but I'm just gonna hate on it anyway. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. But we got a couple of more comments I want to fly through because we're behind on the chat.
Yeah. Can I just add something, Noel? I mean, the whole Blue People comment. We had the same thing with Star Trek recently, with Worf being a pacifist. He's not a bloody pacifist.
I know, but I love the way they did the ball. But that's a different thing.
He was taking.
Yeah, but he does
baiting
fight.
Riker.
But he does fight in it. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah, he was baiting Riker by that comment.
Yeah, it was. Listen, that
He's
show
just
was
more
brilliant.
refined. Oh,
I haven't even watched the latest episode because I'm so excited. I'm just thinking of waiting on the next one.
Well, even Rabbi, it's bringing Rabbi to tears. That show.
Yeah,
so good. It is.
So Baba says it's criminal if they spend the money and time to produce a multi-platform flop in Doomsday. Well, they didn't learn after Time Lord Victorious again. But another reason why fans are kind of like, you know, like you're kind of repeating the same mistakes over and over again. What's going on? Have you not learned your lessons? Rob Fellows says Doomsday is embarrassing. I agree. The trailer certainly was. Anyway, imagine the backlash RTD would get if he slogged off Doomsday. I can understand why he praised this. See, I can understand certain things, but I would have loved him to come out and say that this is nothing connected to the 60th, because he did say it was part of the 60th celebrations. He didn't necessarily say it was part of the main 60th anniversary show. But still, some people need clarification on that, whether RTD likes it or not. That is a fact. Nerdaholic says, agreed, Noel. It looked like it was thrown together in 5 minutes by a university amateur dramatics club. I agree with you. That's again, that was another reason why people were giving out. Another Time Lord disastrous, says Peter Harrington. Doctor Who was for all.
Hello, Nicholas.
The why it got 10 million viewers a week at some points. Who do you know? No, says Soft Cuddly. Yeah, that's Peter from Australia, guys. Remember Peter? Was in the chat. He's obviously had some personal stuff go on, but it's nice to see him in the chat. Let me see. A lot of these are comments I can't read because it's gone too far, so I'll just go down and see. Gobby Guy says here, lots of people are telling me that they're done with it now. Yeah, I got a couple of messages straight away after the announcement, I'm not going to lie, of people saying, do you know what, Noel? You know, I admire, basically one person said they admired the fact that I believed in RTD, but they were done. And then, of course, Lee sent me a message as well on Instagram to say he was done. And I don't think, this is the thing, I don't think RTD still realizes, you know, yes, he's built up some goodwill with the fandom, but it was fragile and it's ebbing away with every announcement that seems to be coming out now. And I think it's such a shame because, you know, I think there has been good stuff to come out, but it was always fragile. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Now, hold on. We're getting closer to the end of the comments there so we can catch up. How much is the budget exactly for time? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what will the potential loss of money now? Exactly. But I think they had to go ahead with this because I think there was licensees already involved, and you couldn't pull out of a contract that big. Midnight is brilliantly disturbing. That is one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes because it's literally 7 people or something in this
it's one of them. It's like I compare it to Stephen King. If Stephen King wrote Doctor Who episode, that good.
That's it. exactly. Bobby with a great point as well here. Says we will see how the character is. Are they good or basically annoying? And I agree with you, Cinnamon. I do love that story. And God Complex is another one I'd imagine either John Carpenter or Stephen King writing. That is a good one as well. And what's the one with the kid in the doll's house in
Night Terror.
Night Tremors?
Night
Night
Terror.
Terrors, yeah, Night Terrors. That's another good one as well.
I think they're scary not because jump scare, scary monster. Like
Yeah.
it's psychological as well.
That's it. Psychological horror. Good psychological horror.
And it's like, this entity, the midnight entity or whatever it was, like that wasn't really the main villain. Like, if anything, it was the people. Like, and I really loved it. Actually, because it's like how they're all laughing and joking earlier.
Yeah.
Like, they're all laughing and banter and talking about the pool was abstract and all whatever that was.
And then they can sit on mortar.
Yeah, how you can go from laughing, like in a 45-minute episode, how you can go from laughing and having banter to nearly threatening to kill each other. Like, that's deep stuff.
Yeah.
But,
Peter Harrington says, when the glut of the money, it's rare they produce good, solid content. Doctor Who was a hive of creativity once, and amazing stories were produced. I do agree. It does seem the quality has dipped over the years. And Gobby is leaving, so we'll say goodnight to Gobby.
Hey, Gobby.
Check out Gobby's channel as well, guys, for all his streams. And that's Gobby Guy's channel there. Go and check it out. Let's see, what have we got? Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. But then they said something about, I think someone said it was for adults. So then that's where the confusion is with Doomsday. So if it's for adults, why does it look like it's being produced for children? And I agree with you.
They filmed it in February, but I would like to know how long they were planning on it. When did they get this idea to do this?
I think she said in the interview herself, I think she let slip they were doing it. They did this in, I think it was late October, November.
Right. So if that was the case, then effectively, you say there, it feels like a Geordie thing. It probably kind of was then. If they were planning it then and they're working on it and getting the ideas then, and they've only just gotten around to filming it in February, then that might explain it, if that makes sense.
But why RTD? And I can understand why he endorsed it, because he's now the new showrunner. I just wish he hadn't. Wish he hadn't. And Doomsday felt like the BBC trying to appeal to Jodie fans to carry on watching in a bridge to the next era. Well, that would be a clever idea. I just wish they kind of make it a little bit more obvious, because there's a bit of confusing messages going on, because it's supposed to be aimed at adults. But yeah, if you watch that video, it does seem like something that was aimed
so patronizing,
for the kids. Because I'll tell you, being honest with you, Baba, I'm an adult. There's no way she that acting does not. And I know she's doing audio, but even that first impression, that makes me think. And the way she talks as well in that little clip, it was a big turn off for me.
She's supposed to be some big, scary, like threatening assassin.
Assassin.
Sound like a Sing Baby.
No,
sounds
the
like a Sing
greatest
Baby
assassin.
presenter.
That's it.
No, it's the greatest assassin in the universe.
It's a children's host for children.
Yeah,
like,
the universe of teddy bears or something? Is it the universe of teddy bears or something? Because, like I tell you, that just did not feel like someone that I'd be scared of.
She sounds like she plays Hitman on Easy.
I mean, seriously, if that's supposed to be the greatest hitman assassin, in the universe, well, then I'm sorry, I'd easily beat her.
You need something like Boba Fett. One of the greatest assassins.
She doesn't.
Wears a mask. She comes up as a librarian.
Yeah, why couldn't they stick a mask on her and put like a voice synthesizer?
That's
put
it.
Make it sound like Doomcock or something. I don't know. Give her some sort of voice.
We got Nicholas Horton in the chat. Just want to say hello. Welcome, Nicholas. Nice to see you in the chat.
I mean, Christopher Eccleston, my profile picture there looks more threatening.
Garbage is saying good night, so we'll say good night. The Vastra, the Vastra, what you call it? The
Vastra gang.
No. the fucking, I can never pronounce it.
Oh, what
properly.
the
The creatures in fucking the shadow creatures in Silence of the
Ashton
Lions.
Arada.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
they were
ones.
even bleeding more scarier
Oh,
than
yeah.
the bleeding greatest assassin in the universe.
They're
We
better
didn't even see
assassins
them.
than she is.
They actually, we did see them. They were just fucking shadows, man.
Yeah.
They were shadows. Yeah, she's the most badass assassin. All right, but as an individual and a personal person on Twitter, she has very thin skin.
She's a
especially-
social assassin.
especially for someone who
Who's
defended
terrifying.
her, who
Personally,
defended her. A big Finnish writer
Exactly.
actually defended her and told her that she took on bigger people than people in the Doctor Who fandom. And then she goes on a blocking spree in the Doctor Who
Whoa.
fandom.
She's a character assassin.
There is nobody bigger in the Doctor Who fandom. She hasn't taken on anybody bigger. The Doctor Who fandom are as brutal as any fandom out there because of what's happened the last 5 years. And if you go on the way you've been going on, well, you're going to be called out. But it doesn't matter. She blocked me and loads of other people. You know what I mean? I just like, listen, here's the thing. Even though initially we were all giving out, as I said, if you end up being good in this audio, I would have gave you praise. But the fact that you blocked me and all of this, like, you know, I'll still give it praise and stuff like that, but I won't be praising you. You don't deserve any because you're just a big baby. I mean, you need to grow a bit thicker skin on this platform. If you can't take criticism, right, then you shouldn't be in the position that you're in. But with her, in her case, there is that to be said that she lacks the experience. Because if you actually go and look at her CV, as they call her Wikipedia page, right, she's done limited acting. Right, she's done a bit of voice work, which is fair enough. She's working her way up the ladder, so fair enough with the voice part of this. But you can clearly see that this woman was absolutely rubbish at acting. But again, why hadn't you hiring someone that's voice acted for years that has the experience?
Yeah. I mean, the sad thing is, Noel, I've got more of my West End credits than she's got, and I've only got one.
Yeah, she assassinated
well,
her
you've got more acting
credibility.
experience.
No, that's for sound design, mate, not for acting. Oh yeah, but Lee has as well.
Great
But yeah,
comment.
his voice acting work anyway.
Yeah.
Deadly assassinated, says Rob. She definitely did that to her character, I have to say. What have we got here? Liberation of the Daleks comic currently running in Doctor Who magazine, still considered canon to the show. Yeah, RTD did announce though that there would be the comic strips and all that would all lead up into the 60th. So he made that clear. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing new. What's she on now? I don't know, but I have noticed something about these activists and these feminists, right? Look at their eyes. They always have crazy eyes. There's something in their eyes. Listen. You could put 20 women in a photograph, right? And if someone asked you to pick out the feminists, you could pick them out without a shadow of a doubt, right? Because they have crazy eyes. They all do. AOC, crazy eyes, right? Amber Heard, crazy eyes. Seuss, crazy eyes. They all have crazy eyes, right? I've said it for ages, man. You could just straight away. You don't even have to tell you they're a feminist. You know.
Estrogen's a dangerous
By
thing.
the way, when I say feminist, I mean the radical ones. I should make it clear that not all feminists are bad. My wife is a feminist, and she's one of the good ones. She's one of the good ones, right? She still hits me with a frying pan, but you know she's a good feminist. Yeah, that's a great saying in the Holman. And night everyone staying up too now. Yeah, you were watching WrestleMania. Yeah, I hope it was as good as you wanted it to be. But we've caught up with all the comments now. So, yeah, it was nice. So let's see, because I don't think PD Rich has said much since he's come on. So we'll give him a go. So, yeah, so PD, back to this. I mean, goodwill has been there.
Yeah.
It's being fragile.
Yeah.
Is this another bump in the road, or do you think this is it now? Fans are really truly are getting sick and tired of it, and it's just gonna keep getting worse. What do you
Yeah.
think is gonna happen?
This is the problem, Noel. This is why I came on. It's like I can kind of see. I mean, we haven't seen the actor yet. We haven't seen a performance, and as I said, Doctor Who can have an uncanny valley element to it. So you can have a drag queen playing like some kind of female queen of some space tribe, and it will still pan out. But the problem is that the fandom is so fractured at the moment, and RTD sadly is coming on so strong with all of this that it's going to fracture it more instead of bring it back together. We've got to heal the fandom. So I just think RTD's got to be a bit more careful, a bit more subtle about what he releases and who he releases it to, and try and heal and stop trying to please everybody, because at the end of the day, I'll just end up pleasing nobody, and it'll just annoy everyone. And then, as I said earlier, that what's happening with James Gunn at the moment, I didn't say it, I said it in the private chat. Both sides are just going to attack the middle, and it's just going to be a big old. It's just going to start the culture war 2.0 all over again, and this is what I'm worried about. But as I said, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. As I said, who knows?
Yeah, but I do think some YouTubers out there are hoping that the shit does hit the fan as well.
Oh yeah,
and there is a second culture war, because to them then that means cha-ching, that means subscribers.
the agent provocateurs.
You
Yeah,
know, and I'm kind of seeing a lot of that right now. As I said, one line from a trailer and everybody's overreacting.
yeah,
Like, wait and see, watch the movie, and then if it turns out to be everything that you think it is because of one line, then fair play to you. You had a crystal ball on you, but why you'd want these things to fail in the first place is beyond me. Can we not just wait and see what happens? I'm actually looking forward to Blue Beetle. Have to be honest, I told you all on this weeks and weeks ago when we were talking about Blue Beetle and all the other stuff that was coming out, and I told you that I was really excited about this. The trailer has made me more excited. I'm not going to get upset over one line at the end of the trailer. I'm judging the whole trailer, and the trailer itself was absolutely brilliant. And I think your guy that's playing the main character, who plays Miguel in Cobra Kai, is absolutely fantastic casting. The suit looks amazing, and I can't wait to learn about Blue Beetle.
Yeah. As I said, it could be an a-hole line, like the wolf.
That's it.
Trick line.
That's what I mean. So, like, let's not jump the gun. Or maybe the second comedian that said it, what's his name? Lopez. What's his face?
George Lopez.
Yeah, everybody hates him anyway. George Lopez, right? We all hate George Lopez, right? And maybe he just threw that ad-lib that line in or something. We don't know, right? But don't rate a whole movie based off one line. Come on.
Yeah. We don't know until it happens.
Anyway, let's see. The show needs a new recurring Time Lord villain, the Inquisitor, who goes around purging everybody considered guilty of wrongthing. Not sure who would they cast. I don't know about that one.
Come on, that's Red Dwarf.
The Omen had a major impact on me at the I love The Omen though. It's one of my favorite horror trilogies. So yeah. The good, Daniel here says, the good will has been permanently flushed away from me. If I don't walk away from the show now, it will hurt me again.
That's fair enough.
Had to do the same thing with Star Trek, Daniel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reality for some fans out there, and that's how some fans are feeling. And this is why I've done this stream tonight. I'm not ever going to shy away from tackling a topic on this. And the reason why I wanted to do this tonight and not on Friday Night Contact with Christian is I don't want to be getting Christian involved in this debate, because obviously he has people on his channel who would be in favor of this casting and stuff like that. And I don't want to be causing any problems on anybody else's streams. This is why I decided to do this separately, talk about it tonight, and then bring on a couple of the people, whoever wanted to come on basically, and give their opinion on it. Because PD and everybody else is right in the chat that have said it. Unfortunately, this fandom is fractured in such a way that, you know, it's going to take a long time to heal, if it does heal at all, to be quite honest with you. And it is a shame, but that's just where we are as a fandom. Again, thank you, Chris Chibbs. Fair play to you. I mean, if your goal was to solely destroy a fandom, job done. I don't know, something. I've just got this horrible feeling that the whole Chibbs era was a deliberate ploy.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah,
2.0.
it was.
Noel, how again is a multimedia thing work with Doctor Who, please? Apparently, there's going to be comics. There's going to be YouTube content as well. There's going to be audio, and there's going to be a game, and it's going to cost for all of it except for the YouTube stuff. I'm assuming there probably will be other facets of it that will be kind of free for people that can't afford, but will still get pieces of information on the story, like they did with Time Lord Victorious, but that didn't quite work the way they planned. But this is going to cost a fair bit for any fan that goes all out on this. And if you're judging it off the trailer that you got, and if you were a parent whose kid wanted you to buy this, you'd be kind of, as a parent, you always look for value for money. And right now, looking at what we've seen so far, I wouldn't say that people or fans are going to get value for money. And with the whole Time Lord Victorious thing spectacularly failing, and remember, there's a difference here, by the way, and I need to make this point. Time Lord Victorious had established characters, by the way, established doctors.
Yeah.
This is a brand new character. Now, granted, we're told some legacy characters will show up, but this is all resting on this character Doom's shoulders. And, you know, we've all been introduced to the actress, quote actress, that's going to be taken on this role. And let's be honest, she's not a nice person. So you've got a lot of things going against you. And Time Lord Victorious had a lot of things good going for it. And that failed. So I don't know. BBC Studios, if the rumor is true and this is BBC Studios, well, BBC Studios must be in it to lose money, because this is another decision where they're going to lose money. And it stinks a bit of sabotage, if you ask me. Why they'd want to do this when Doctor Who is coming back, hopefully in a blaze of glory? Why would you put out crap like that? Anyway, whatever the issues, it's still nice to have a place to meet everyone. So thanks to all here, past, present, and future. Time travel is cool. Okay, says Rob. Nice to have you in the chat, Rob. Really do appreciate that. Disaster area thinks nobody will buy it. I wouldn't. No, look, I'm going to be honest. That's not true. Obviously, I don't think hardcore fans will buy this, but I'm pretty sure there's a demographic of fans that we had the last era that will certainly buy this, because they'll buy Anton. And let's be honest, this does stink of the afters, the Jodie Whittaker era. This doesn't seem in line with RTD. because if you look at the trailer compared to this, the little mini trailer we got for the 60th,
Yeah.
it just doesn't. It seems worlds apart. So if this is the rubbish that BBC Studios want to throw out, well, they're going to continue losing money. We'll see what RTD does with Doctor Who. Right now, we can't make any or jump to any conclusions right now. But there are a lot of fans out there that are worried. There are a lot of fans that are done, and that's understandable. And as I said, and I did say this, the goodwill, it was fragile. It was always going to be fragile, and all it takes is a couple of announcements later, and some fans have said that goodwill has gone out the window. So, he's I think he is trying so hard to please everybody, but I think that'll be his biggest downfall, to be quite honest with you. He shouldn't be trying to please anybody. He should just write the best version of Doctor Who that he can write and forget about everybody else, get his head down and do what he does best, which is build characters, develop those characters, and write some great stories. That's what he should be concentrating on. Doomsday is an appropriate name for it, says Jordan Jackrabbit. And Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture say BBC get money from their YouTube channels, but still have the nerve to have a license fee. Well, yeah, it is slightly a different topic, but I get where you're coming with that one.
He's a different debate.
Jack Rabbit says he's an activist now. No, he wants the show to be in his image. Well, we will see. We will see. Obviously, all we've gotten now is just casting and stuff like that. We haven't actually seen anything on screen. But, as I said, there are a lot of fans that feel the same way as yourself. And I do think RTD is trying to please everybody. Let me see. Soft Cuddly Angry says the destruction of the Time Lords after the destruction of the Time Lords. Right. Cinnamon has changed his identity for some weird reason. So Problem Big, nice to have you on the show.
Jack's coming to do the voice.
Well, that's sanctimonious bastards. That YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah, we're also on Twitter as well. So well done.
Are we on Twitter? Oh well, if Elon Musk is as big and bad as he claims he is.
Big and bad. Anyway,
sorting out real issues instead of putting Doge dog.
Anyway, if anybody else in the chat has any more comments to make, if not, I think we'll wrap it up there. I think everybody has said everything that needs to be said, and I've got to get out of here ASAP. I've only noticed the time, so I'm out of here straight away. Out, bang, I'm done. If there's let me see, it's only funny when I do it because I know him, says Jordan Jackrabbit. So you have to.
Well, I am him. So
you've got to stop. You've got to stop imitating him, apparently. So there you go. RTD has lost the plot to me, but that's my opinion, says Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture. Well, we only time will tell. But everybody does have their opinion on it, different opinions on it. And as I said, and I've said this from the beginning, that is absolutely okay. And that is the way a fandom should always be. But here, before we do go, let's just in with a little bit of sick news. So, Dublin Comic Con was on over the weekend. Of course, I never bothered me arse to actually check who was at Dublin Comic Con this year, because if I had I've actually would have went to me first or tried to anyway. Michelle Gomez was at Dublin Comic Con,
Oh,
and I am sick that I did not
Ah.
check, because you know what, I probably would have tried to go. To be quite honest, I would have checked up anyway for tickets, just to say, because it was Michelle Gomez.
yeah.
So I'm kind of pissed now because
I like
I
Missy.
didn't check, and if I had I probably would have been there, got her to sign me box sets. I'm bleeding sick now. There you go. I'll follow Dublin Comic Con now, so I'm gonna make sure
Yeah.
the next one.
Michelle lives in
Uh,
America now, by the way.
Is she?
Yeah, she lives in the States. She's moved,
All right.
emigrated.
Well, then there you go. She came all the way. Well, Ireland, America is not that far, right?
Feel sorry for her.
Yeah,
Um,
she got bored of
uh,
Scotland.
Well, to be fair, I don't blame her there either.
RTD is butt kissing. Still love her from Green Ring. Green Wing. What the hell is happening to me? Speech. You missed Missy. Yes, I did. Absolutely
Missy.
gutted. But there you go. What can you do? What can you do? Those things happen. Well, listen, we've had our biggest audience that we've had in a long time, which is great. We had over 50 people watching at one stage.
Only 21 likes.
Which is fantastic. So yeah, there's 30 people still watching right now at the moment. So if you could do us a favor and you haven't liked the stream, please do that if you don't mind. Of course, if you haven't given your opinion in the chat, there's also the comment section there. Please leave a comment as well. If you would like to even add to what you said here and leave a comment, I do appreciate it. I do go in and have a look at the comments, so go ahead and leave a comment. Are you regenerating, Cinnamon? Yeah, he's got your one on this. Yeah, he's got your one.
What was it I did before? I changed my nickname to Cinnamon Toast something. I can't remember. I think it was Sweet Cakes. Something about milkshake, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, we will leave it there for tonight. So thank you everybody for joining.
I'm regenerating. I'm the tiniest child. There you go. There's your answer. It's my fault. Everything was my fault.
So we appreciate it. As I said, I have to fly off now. So what we'll do is we'll do the channel shout outs. And then I'm out of here just to let you know, lads, before we go off, just in case like I won't be staying in the studio. I'm off straight away. Have to fly off. But I will talk to you again. Well, probably talk to you, PD, on Wednesday instead of the new Classic Who. We're doing a chill stream. So if you want to come on Wednesday, and you, Real Super Doc, because I know you do be on the Classic stream. So if you just want to be here Wednesday, I'll send you the links as usual. And Queen Charlotte will be with us as well. So yeah, we'll be back for what day is it today? I've lost all track of
Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
So tomorrow
so tomorrow's member stream for all you members out there. We'll have a member stream 8 p.m. Come and join me for that. That's the preview of Friday night show. Obviously, where I give me opinion on some of the articles that we're going to be covering. Obviously, not all of them, because then what would be the point? But obviously, when we have the lads on, I'll try to get them to give their opinion as much as possible, and I'll just ask the questions. So with this stream, you'll get to hear my opinions on all of those articles. It's still Monday, people are I've lost all track of reality.
Tuesday.
Reality. So it's half an hour, then it's 12 a.m. So then it'll be officially 2 a.m. is official. Whatever. Who cares? It's still Monday. That's the main thing. That's the one. Right. We'll go around the panel. And if one of me mods as well could do us a favor and throw in a couple of channels there, Cinnamon's, Gobby Guys, Daniel's channel, John, Jack Rabbit, the usual suspects, yeah? The usual suspects. So we'll go around the panel. So we'll start with Super Doctor. He's changed it from real Super
I
Doctor
just
to Super Doctor.
kept the Super Doctor instead. It's a bit better.
So yeah, so it's Super Doctor now. So Super Doctor, go ahead.
I've got a YouTube channel under Real Super Doctor, and I've got a Twitter under Real Super Doctor.
Fantastic, fantastic. And we have PD Rich, not again, man.
Yeah. You can find me in the chat on Rabbi's channel normally, and sometimes you can find me here on Wednesdays and Mondays.
Absolutely fantastic. And then we've got Icky Wiki Baguette. I think we've lost Cinnamon.
Oh dear.
Are you messing? Because I've got the head off. I'm not messing. So if you're messing, can you just?
Can you hear me now?
Okay,
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, did it go off?
Yeah.
Oh well, here I am. My YouTube is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and my Twitter is just Real B Beckett.
Fantastic, fantastic. And if you're taking the piss, you're being
I
punished.
was changing my profile picture again, but I was on a different screen, so I'm assuming that was why it wasn't working. I didn't realise it took my audio off.
It's
I do apologise. Did you miss my voice?
No, we didn't miss your voice at all. We were hoping that you were gone.
That's because I'm northern. I'm northern.
We got a couple of people saying good night in the chat, Nicholas and others there. So thank you for that. And I want to thank everybody in the chat for taking part. I want to thank me mods as usual for keeping the chat
No worries.
safe for everybody there. And again, just before we just head off tonight, just remember, guys, YouTube is a lot stricter now. And it's also with the comment section. So you have to be careful what words you use in the chat. If you use alternative words, we will know exactly what you're talking about. But you have to be clever, because YouTubers have to be clever on this platform. This is why I hate all the moaning and bitching from the bigger YouTubers when they moan about the videos being taken down. Listen, if you read the TOS, then you wouldn't have any issues on YouTube. It's as simple as that. Right, you can navigate yourselves on that platform if you play smart. Right, so stop the moaning, stop the bitching, and to all the grifters out there talking about Doctor Who. By the way, I've noticed a lot of you are speaking up all of a sudden. I've never spoken about Doctor Who, but apparently casting trans actors and black actors and all of this now has woke you all up, and you are all talking about Doctor Who. Don't. Right, go and bitch about the stuff that you bitch about and keep your noses out of Doctor Who, because you don't know the history, you don't know anything about the representation in the past or anything that's gone before. Right, you're only grifting because it's fashionable to talk about Doctor Who because they cast certain people. Stay in your own lanes and don't be crossing over into other people's fandoms and spreading your toxic shite. Yeah, that's their job. If there's anything to be toxic about, or there's anything to give out about, or there's anything to praise, that's their job. You don't watch Doctor Who, you don't have any other Doctor Who content on these channels, and all of a sudden you're talking about Doctor Who. Stop grifting. People can see right through it. You only want to find the most negative things out there to talk about, and that's how you build your channels.
Yeah, they become the thing they hate.
Exactly.
We warned them.
And it's funny, I've seen some, I won't mention any particular name, but it's been actually great to see that people are starting to cop on and are calling certain people out. But in my opinion, can I just say that it's not just one YouTuber, that there's a lot of YouTubers out there that have done the exact same thing as the YouTuber that you're all giving out about. So why not call them out too? Right? Because it's about time that the grifters in this on that platform are called out. You know what I mean? Because they've built big, huge channels because of all their grifting. And they've also, remember, they've taken thousands beyond thousands of dollars off their subscribers over the last few years. These big channels make serious bank and then they've got their merchandise and all of their little packages that they send out and all of this. They're making bank, folks, right? And I think it's insincere that some have built it all off lies. And then people then, when that person gets called out, people defend them. Oh, but this person's a nice guy. So let me get this straight. Because they're a nice guy, it's okay for them to build a channel off lies, take people's money, and continue to grift that way for the next few years. No. People should be honest. People should be honest, man. Shouldn't be lying. And I don't like that. You know what I mean? This is why I've grown the way, at the speed that I've grown at, right? There's nothing artificial about my growth on YouTube, right? Because I've tried to do things the proper way. I haven't always, no, right? I've made a few mistakes along the way. Not gonna lie, we all have, right? Especially, you know, getting used to YouTube is an experience in itself. But I've made mistakes over my journey. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? But the one thing that I've never done is be untruthful to any of you guys on this channel. Not once. I don't believe in it. Never have. I try to be honest and true to myself, right? It's not about grifting for me. I'm honest and truthful to myself, right? And I think that's why a lot of you have stuck around for as long as you have, because you can see that I am honest. And I am true to myself, and I don't, you know, I don't shy away from topics either. We try to cover as much as we can, and I try to give a voice to everybody as much as possible. You know, obviously, if people are going to be mean to you, you know, you're not going to entertain those people. But I try to be fair. But not once. All the stuff that I ever received, information I ever received, you know, I put out. I didn't change it in any way. I didn't grift. I've never told lies. I've always told you that anything that I got was rumor and speculation as well, by the way. I didn't make it out to be fact and then put up hashtags claiming I was right. Right? I've been straight with this from the beginning. And that's the way I believe all YouTubers should conduct themselves. But unfortunately, especially these last few years, that isn't the case anymore. And it's actually sad. It's actually sad. I have to be honest. It's sad to see because, you know, you don't have to grift. You know, I can understand why some people do it. They get all those subs and that money starts rolling in. You don't want to lose that money. So you'll do anything to keep your channel relevant. So that's why then the rumors get more outrageous and the lies get more outrageous because they have to keep up. Never believed
the
in
thing
doing
that annoys
that
me is that they claim to be Doctor Who fans, but then they only ever talk about it on the channel when it all heats up, whenever there's a big debate or there's a big controversial thing, and fandom's arguing. It's like, well, if you claim to be who you are and you claim to love the show so much, why do you only cover it whenever there's
exactly. Why is there
story to get
hardly
out of
any
it?
Doctor Who content on your channel except when, as you said, there's something negative to talk about? And that's what I do hate. Stay in your lane. Simple as that. You know
Agent
what I mean?
provocateurs.
I just hate it. But look, you know, all I just say to you guys, you know, when you're looking out for YouTubers to follow, always try, in my opinion, I think people should always try follow those people that they believe are being honest with the audience. And you can tell the ones that are honest. And, you know, the ones that lie, it's so obvious. And that if people actually just did a little bit of research and went back and watched some of the old videos and compared stuff that they said and actually compared to stuff that actually happened, you will see that they got absolutely nothing right. But nobody is willing to actually go and do that research. You know, no fellow bigger YouTuber will actually do a profile piece on these YouTubers, right? Which is kind of, you know, suspicious to me. You know, there's people out there that know that these people do this, and they've sat by and they've stayed quiet, and they all started out together, and yet not one of them is brave enough to call these people out for who they are. I wish there were people a lot more braver than me. I'm a small YouTuber. And trust me, PD will back me up on this. There's a particular YouTuber that I've been talking about for the last couple of years that recently got called out, and I called this early on. PD will back me up. I called it early on about that particular YouTuber.
Oh, is this the mask guy?
We won't mention names, but you know who I'm talking about. I literally said this to you ages and ages, years. I don't know how long ago it is, but it's age. I called this, man. I knew this was gonna happen, but no, because I'm a small channel, nobody listens to me. But look, just be careful who you are following out there. And can I also add as well, be careful who you're giving your hard-earned cash to. Yeah? Okay? Because remember, as I said, you know, there are some out there that are deserving, and there's some that aren't, that are making huge amounts of profit. And then these are the very same people, may I point out, that one of their friends will be financially in trouble and they'll put up a GoFundMe or some sort of yoke and ask their own supporters, the subscribers who already give them hard-earned cash, oh, can you help me mate out? How about you help your mate out? How about with the amount of money that you make each night, you help your mate out?
Yeah.
Right? Don't be asking your subscribers to help people out. You help them out. You make enough money, you sell your merchandise, right? You have all of this other side stuff going on. Then you have to cheek when your friends is in financial, or someone in the community that you claim you're friendly with, probably have never met, but then you're putting up GoFundMe for them. No, you help them out. All you fellow YouTubers, you help them out. You make enough money. Don't be asking your subscribers to fork out extra few cash to help someone else out. You help them out. You are the ones that make the money. I mean, I find it all cheeky to some of the stuff that goes on. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe it's just the culture on YouTube and I'm not used to it. And that's the way things are. But I'm on this platform 5 years. I've seen a lot of that go on over the last 5 years, and I don't think it's right. I've been in financial difficulty over the last few years. Someone that, won't mention names, but someone in the community was very nice. It says, I'll give you money. I was, no, you're okay. I will sort out my own problems. I said, you want to help? Share me channel. Ask people to subscribe to me channel. The more views I get, it helps me. Not even asking for super chats or anything like that, right? I just say, like me video, share me channel, let people know about the channel. Well, the more people that watch me video, it helps. Simple as that, right? And trust me, right? I've got a small channel, and I'm not saying I make loads. I don't, right? But I make enough to cover a bill, let's say, right? A bill, right? But if I was to calculate what these feckers are making on top of the merchandise and all, I could probably calculate how much they're making. Thousands. No way they should be asking people out there for more money to help their friends out. Use diggies their own friends out. Absolutely disgraceful, the culture that's being allowed to go on social media and on all these platforms. You know what I mean? People asking for more, and even people that have big channels. Oh, we've got a big hospital bill. Can you help me out? When you've got like 60,000 subscribers, you don't need to be asking people for money to pay for your hospital bills. You can cover your hospital bills if you do 6 or 7 videos on your YouTube channel a week, and you'll get that money with super chats alone. So why are you asking for extra? It's a culture that's wrong. I don't believe in it. But there you go. Who am I to tell anybody though? But that's just my opinion. You know me. I'm a straight talker. And I'll never shy away from that. But I just think it's so wrong of some people to do that, especially when they're making bank themselves. You YouTubers can help each other out. He's all claim to know each other and best friends with them. So you help them out. See, the reality is this: they're not friends with them, right? The reality is that these YouTubers don't give two shits about each other, and they don't. They do little symbolic gestures like that to kind of make people think that they do care. But in reality, they don't really give a shit about other people's problems because they're so self-absorbed and are chasing that money train that they don't actually care. And there you go. I'm going to shut up now before I go any further, or maybe slip up and start mentioning names, because we wouldn't want that to happen. One day, maybe when I retire, I will call the whole fucking lot out, and then I'll retire and just sit back and watch it all unfold.
Watch the world burn.
Yeah,
You know,
like Dan
use your free will, folks. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, that's just my opinion. I'm not really trying to tell people what to do, but I would say be careful who you're subscribed to.
Just be smart.
And
Use your common sense. Just look after yourself and
Yeah,
watch out for people.
like, I've always helped people out in this fandom, and I'll always continue to do that because I believe it's the right thing to do.
Stand by people who show you loyalty, and
Yeah.
they'll do the same. Or ideally,
Yeah. Listen, it's not even about that either, though. But that is a nice side to it. But that isn't the bit. For me, it's just if I see someone out there, they come on, they're in here, they're in the chat, they have a personality, people like them, you know, they have very strong opinions. I will always encourage that person to get themselves out there. And I'll always support. You know, I'll support. You know me. I don't just support big YouTubers. You know that. I support the small YouTubers, and because I remember when I first started out, you know, I was getting a lot of help of certain big YouTubers out there. One in particular, Gary from Neurotics, helped this channel out, and Chris, formerly Ballstrick, and a couple of other channels out there gave me a leg up in the early days, and I appreciate that, and that's nice. And that's why, you know, I agree with that policy. I think that's, you should kind of, like, as they say, pay it forward sort of thing. So I'll help anybody out, you know. And you've seen it's backfired on me a couple of times, but I still haven't stopped, even though I said I would stop because getting too, you know, because people keep turning on you. But I never stopped, and I never will. Um, you know, you meet so many wonderful people when you do stuff like this, and I've gotten to know a lot of wonderful people that have went on to create their own channels and do very well for themselves, and that's something I'll always be proud of. Um, and that's why I always say subscribe to those people. And again, you know, when I ask people to support me, the best way to support me is, if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe to the channel. If you're watching one of my videos, after the video, if you like it, please give it a like. Even if you didn't like it and you want to give out to me, leave a comment. It all helps, you know, and that's how I ask people to support me. Just watch me videos. That's all I ask people to do. You know, I'm not out there begging for people to. And I notice as well, you'll notice, you know, the bigger YouTubers will only read out super chats. They don't read out
yeah,
other people's comments. And I'm that's wrong. I've always read out the super chats and people's comments, you know, and I'll continue to do that as well. Even though I did say at one stage, I'm thinking I might pull back on reading out the comments all the time because I'd be here all night. But we still read out the comments. I mean, we haven't gotten this, as I said, we haven't had this big crowd in a while. So I think this is the first time where I've had to scroll through all the comments. But I read out as many of the comments as I can every time we stream. And as I said to you guys, now I'm going to try to get you more involved even more now. Yeah, and that's the way I want it to be. We are all one. We are all one community here. You know, as I said, when I talk about the channel, I never say well, I don't always say my channel, I say our channel, our community. I might have set this up, but I wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for you guys tuning in. So it's our community. We built this together. And that's the way we are. Some of us are tight. We argue sometimes with each other. We fall out. But ultimately, we're all back again talking on a panel together, and that's the way it should be. Peter says this is a top channel. Thank you, Peter. I really appreciate that. And comments make streams. I do agree with you. A lot of people are agreeing with me actually as well, which is nice to see. And thanks again. I'm not trying to tell people what they should do. I mean, I'm just I'm trying to protect. I'm a very protective person. I just don't want people to be taken for a ride on this platform. And I do think there's a lot of channels out there that are doing that, and they're taking their subscribers on a piss take, and all in the meantime taking their money. And that doesn't settle with me and never will.
Or when they call their viewers fans, like, well, you're not fans,
Yeah.
you're not celebrity, you're
I
just a
know.
YouTuber.
Well, they think
Yeah.
they're celebrities. I know, it's funny. Luke Skywalker is in the chat. May the force be with you. But we're heading off now. So unfortunately, Luke, I thought you died in the what was it, the Last Jedi? Yeah, I thought you disappeared in that, but here you are.
Just give
You're
up.
here. So maybe are you a force ghost? Wasn't that what that rubbish was? Yeah, force ghost. That's what they called it. Yeah.
Fast ghost.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Listen, folks, thank you for tonight. As I said, we haven't had this crowd in a while. And you know what? I have to say, I really enjoyed tonight. Really enjoyed reading out your comments, hearing your opinions. Got a little bit heated, as it always does in the chat and on the Tarda Zone. But that's what we like. We're all friends now. Nobody's falling out with anybody or anything. We got to the end unscathed. We're all still here. No force ghosts here. And I will see you for the next one. Force be with you and all, and all here. Take care. You too, mate. Good night and thank you, says Fraggle Hunter. It's nice to see some new faces, new names in the chat. Thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow for our member stream. So if you're a member, we will be back at 8 p.m. and I will be talking Hollywood this time, and we'll be covering some news articles. So if you want to hear my opinion on some of them, if you want to become a member, there are 2 levels. You can choose which level you want to, if you want to become a member. If so, I will see you tomorrow. If not, to me members that are members already, I will see you all tomorrow. Then we're back on Friday for the Tarda Zone talks. I forgot. I skipped the stream. Wednesday, we have the chill zone. Myself, PD, Real Super Doctor, Queen Charlotte, and hopefully Lee will be joining us for that, where we'll be just chilling and just talking, having positive vibes about. So we'll talk something. It's one of these streams where we don't know where the chat is going to take us. So come and join us. It'll be interesting. And then on Friday, as I said, at 5:45 p.m., we have the Tarda Zone talks with myself and Christian Basil, sorry, from the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. He joins me at 5:45 every Friday. And then Friday night, 9 o'clock, for Friday night contact with myself, Lee, and it looks like Chris is going to be out for a while longer. So it'll be myself and Lee, and I might start bringing on special guests from this Friday onwards until Chris comes back. Now, if you want to be a special guest, for anybody that's in the chat or on the panel. Let me know, and whoever. What I'll do is, if I get a couple of names, I'll just throw the names in a hat, and I'll just pick out. There won't be any cheating because I don't do that. I'll just pick out whatever name comes out, and that'll be the guest. And then what I'll do is, then I'll get in contact with you, and I'll send you all the articles of all the stuff that we're going to be covering, because you've got to do your research, because I don't want anybody on who hasn't read any of the stuff that we're going to be covering, because we do have a chat where I put all the articles in, where Chris and Lee are there, so they can see what articles I'm going to be talking about. So if you want to be a guest, remember, I'm going to be throwing a lot of stuff at you. So you've got to do the research, and you can't just blab your way through this, by the way. Do the research. Don't do the research and not coming on.
Wow, I'm a good blabber.
So we'll leave it there now, because I will be here for another. I was supposed to be gone like 20 minutes ago. Right, we'll leave it there. Here's the trailers. Good night. Feck off now, and we will talk this.
Bye.
We'll talk.
Leave us a review on the way out.
Yes, that's a good idea. Well, why is people so smart on this stream and I'm stupid? Yes, please do. Please let me know what you thought of this. Would you like me to do more of these streams? Let me know, actually, because I might squeeze one in where I bring guests on. So if you'd like us to do more of these streams, let us know in the comment section when this stream is over, when I shut the fuck up, which is going to be now. So good night.
Yeah, we do that.
Take care. And here's the Tarda Zone trailer. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.